So welcome along to another live Q&A. We're going to be doing these every Friday on the Drew James channel. I'm going to try and give shout outs to everybody. So hi Envy, hi Sunday Group. I'm just going to keep doing that as I can. It got crazy last time, so I'm not sure if I can say hello to everyone. And what we're talking about today is we're talking about ways to keep yourself motivated when you're learning to play guitar. Now we all go through these periods of this feeling of, I'm not good enough. I can't play this particular song. It's really annoying, and it can affect us, right? It happens to all of us. It happens to me as well. Hello to everybody, by the way, Stephanie, Xavier Press Group, Josh. I will try to keep doing shout outs, but we'll see how it goes as we go through. And hey, Paul as well. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be giving you tips and little nuggets to keep up your motivation when you're learning guitar. And I'm going to start with just a very, very simple one, first of all. And by the way, I will be answering your questions. So if you've got any other questions about being motivated, that's the general broad thing that we're going to be doing today. And I'm also just going to be using this as an excuse to learn how to moderate the chat. So just give me a second. I'm just going to see if I can learn how to do that. Oh, okay, cool. It's easy enough. All right. So I know how to do that in the future. Anyway, so one quick tip. So the first one is if you're brand new to learning guitar, then you can do something called 1 minute changes. So that means, let's say you're finding it really difficult to go, let's choose intermediate. Let's go from a D to a B minor. And let's just say that change is really, really difficult for you. And you're like, every time, okay? So what you do is you set your phone to a timer to 60 seconds. You press start on your phone, and then you just start changing chords. So D, doesn't matter how long it takes you, but B minor. And just keep doing that for 1 minute. When the timer's up, all you do is you record your results, okay? Now, even if some of those chords are a bit frayed, you're getting this sort of thing, include it anyway and write down how many changes you did in 1 minute. Simple as that. Write that down. Then the next day, you do the same thing and you see if you can beat it. Just 1 minute. 1 minute's not long. We've all got a minute in the day, right? I'm sure we have, okay? So just 1 minute. D to B minor, D to B minor. And hopefully what will happen is day after day, some days you'll have bad days, you'll be tired, whatever. But day after day, you should see an improvement. So any chords that you're finding particularly tricky right now, give that a go. 60-minute changes, okay? So for example, Lewis Caradone, you just said, I'm finding it difficult from open to bar. Do that, okay? Do what I've just told you there, 1 minute changes. It boosts your motivation as well, because you're seeing yourself improve, even if it's by 2 or 3 chord changes each time. So do it, give it a try. Paul said 60 seconds, not 6 minutes. No, 6 minutes, Paul, would be going a little bit over the top there. So yeah, 60 seconds is how long you do it for. And Dino says, can you make a bar chord tutorial vid? There is one on there, Dino, already. All you need to do is go, if you type in bar chord exercises into YouTube right now, and you'll find it. So guys, keep leaving your comments. This is mainly about motivation, so you're much more likely to get your comment read out if you ask me a question to do with those times when guitar's feeling really difficult, and anything I've got there to help you with that. So I've just got a comment here from Sovesh. I'm a self-learned beginner, been practicing for about 1.5 years. I know all the chords, how to put them into use and learn new ones and stay motivated. How to learn new ones, you should only really be learning new ones when you feel that songs you're learning, you actually need them. So keep it practical. Don't feel you have to learn new chords just because a book tells you should. I've always thought that's rubbish. You should just be playing your chords as and when you need them in a song. So that's my first top tip, right? Take 2 chords that you're finding tricky. Perhaps it's G to C if you're a beginner. That's quite a big change. Or you can do it this way. And 1 minute, off you go. Okay. So let's go through the next quick tip. So this is probably the biggest one as all. I'll just do a quick few shout outs just while I'm going to this next one. So I always think if I'm watching a live commentary, I want to be shout out. So Kevin, just hold the guitar in your hands. Yeah, well, good advice. I don't have time to do how to hold the guitar today. Hi Kevin. Hi Rachel. Bar chords are awesome. It gets so cool when you get. Oh, sorry, Ranier. Sorry about that, Ranier. How to play guitar like a pro. Well, keep playing. That's my best advice. I changed advanced secret. So anyway, my next bit of advice is this. When you started to learn to play guitar, I guarantee that there was one overwhelming reason why you wanted to start. Everyone's got their different reasons for starting to learn to play. Some people, it might have been seeing a band, hearing a song on the radio for the first time, seeing someone else play. But there's usually one reason that underneath us at our very core is keeping us playing guitar and going through all the frustration and all the challenges that we have when we start learning. So whatever that reason is, find it out about yourself. Maybe if you've got that reason, leave it in the comments right now. You know, what is your reason for learning to play? I'd really love to know what your reasons are. So whatever that reason is, write it down, get it out of your head and get it onto paper. And then start thinking of any other reasons that you can think of, the reason why you wanted to learn. For example, it might be a really good motivation. For example, I had a student who wanted to propose to his girlfriend and wanted to sing a song, and he wanted to learn guitar. He had 12 months to do it, and his motivation was really high because he had this end goal and he wanted to propose. So, you know, something like that is very, very useful. So has anyone actually put any things about motivation? Never put the guitar away in its bag, leave it out on a stand all the time. That's very good advice, Paul. Spot on advice that. I'll highlight that. I'd like it if I could. So someone said, I saw someone play this beautiful music and just wished I could play like that. Now that's, Renee, that's a lot of people's reasons for starting. They're inspired by others. They hear other people play and they think, you know what, that's cool. I want to be a part of that. So, you know, everyone's got their own reasons for doing it. So whatever your reasons are, write them down. Write them down on a piece of paper. Have them in your practice space. One better, have a reminder that comes up on your phone every day. Just a little reminder, you know, daily thing that says, okay, this was my reasons for starting. Just have that crop up. As long as it's not too embarrassing, you don't want other people seeing it. That's another great way. All of these things are subconsciously reminding you of the reasons why you started, and those reasons will create new goals, will push you forwards with your guitar playing. Okay, so that is the best advice I can give you. Let's just go back to the comments now, and I'll start talking about how to set goals after that. My motivation to learn is because I want to play my favorite tunes, but in most cases these tunes are not for beginners. Is there a way to handle that? Well, Victor, that's a really good question. You'll see that there's often beginner versions of your favorite songs out there on YouTube. And if you actually have a teacher, which I know not everyone can afford, then they can usually do easier versions of your favorite songs for you. So that's the two bits of advice I've got. Also, you know, if you're a big fan of music, then write down all the songs that you love. Write them all down, the songs that you imagine yourself playing, and listen to them, go through them and start thinking, well, which ones realistically do I stand a chance of learning to play? But you know what? That is a very good question. Perhaps that's something for next time. Ever heard Jose Gonzalez play? Great guitar player. He's the reason why I started. Jose Dia. Yeah, of course. Brilliant musician. Excellent finger style. One of my favourite things about him is I think he said in an interview that he used to fall asleep whilst playing guitar because his music's so chill out and so sort of finger style. He kept nodding off whenever he was playing guitar, and he was obviously using it a lot as sort of therapy, kind of to help him feel relaxed. And yeah, there's no reason with that. I love creating, but going to school for music takes away my creativity. Well, Justin, keep creating. You know, I'm sure you can create outside of school stuff, which is always cool. But if you like creating, that was one of the biggest reasons why I started getting into music. I got into music because I wanted to write songs and express myself. So I'm with you on that one. Just keep writing. Let's see if I can go. Oh, there's going to be far too many here again, isn't there? I was inspired by you. That's very kind. You taught me my first couple of songs. Viva la vida. Thank you for it. Yeah, cool. Great song. Coldplay's a good place to start if you are a beginner. I learned guitar because of Noel Gallagher. His songs keep me motivated to play guitar. Yep, Noel Gallagher's a great beginner musician. If you look at Half the World Away, that's a good beginner song. Chantley, I want to destroy my nose with my awesome guitar skills. Okay, so you want to be a virtuoso? Keep working, work hard at it. You might find that your motivations may change the more you go on. I like, how can I stop my fingers from hurting while playing song? I'm not here to answer questions. It's all about motivation, guys, at the moment. My reason for playing music is a beautiful art to have in your personal life. It takes you a couple of years to learn, but will give you great moments for the rest of your life. Exactly. You know, great moments, good bonding moments with other musicians. That is another reason. Perhaps on your bit of paper you could write, because one day I want to share my songs with others. One day I want to write this song. One day I want to go to an open mic night and perform. So everyone's got their own motivations, but write them down. I can't stress that enough. If they're written down, it may seem crazy, but it works. So write them down. We'll talk about goal setting very soon. My motivation is Placebo. They have beautiful songs with guitar solos. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Placebo, good group. There's some simple power chord stuff with their music if you are a beginner. And yeah, any groups like that, any music that you're really into, then that is the way to do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna try one thing here. Let's do that, and let's try this as well. I was trying to do this last time. There we go. Brilliant, excellent, sweet. So I'm interested if you have ever performed at some coffee or restaurant. Ready? Yeah, I used to do open mic nights, and that was a big inspiration for me, having to play gigs the whole time. So that was awesome. And it looks like the comments are drying up. So let's talk about motivation. Sorry, not motivation. Let's talk about goal setting. So once you've written down your list of reasons that, you know, you've really plunged into your soul and you've thought about the reasons why you want to learn guitar, next thing you should start doing is you should start goal setting. So your goals are inevitably going to change when you start playing guitar. And as they change, you're going to find that you're going to go in different areas. So when you start learning guitar, it's like a tree trunk, right? And you think, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb to the top of that tree trunk. So you're a beginner here at the bottom of the tree. You're climbing, you get to the first part of the tree trunk. You're like, yes, I can play some open chords now. I can do some strumming. I've got a few little tunes under my belt. I've climbed that tree trunk. And then what you'll see from this tree trunk is branches. And these branches will fly off this tree trunk. And those branches are different areas that you can start to specialize in. Just the climb of that tree trunk will start to make more branches seem appealing, because you'll be like, I realize now how much work goes into having to learn guitar. So there's no point in me hanging around learning a style of guitar that I've been told I should learn. I should learn a style of guitar that inspires me, that I love. So let's say one of those branches is fingerstyle guitar. Another branch is rhythm guitar. Another branch is lead guitar. Perhaps you're going to go all the way to the top of the trunk and do virtuoso. Perhaps you're going to do songwriting. But there's lots of different areas once you've climbed that main branch, all right? And that is the important things when it comes to goal setting. So if you've been playing guitar a little bit longer, just do it quite simply. Write down a few simple objectives for this week. So let's say you were learning Riptide by Vance Joy. So let's say you were finding it really difficult getting the rhythm right. Your simple goal for that week would be to play along with Drue at the beginning of the video on the rhythm. Okay, that is your first simple goal, and all you do is you take little steps in your practice, and by the way, I'll be giving you a practice plan very soon, to make that weekly goal, right? So have weekly goals. Maybe have 2 things maximum on there, but make it realistic to what you think you could achieve. Maybe it's a new chord. You want to learn a new chord in that week. Next, monthly. So in a month, perhaps you've got maybe 3 items on there, and maybe they're bigger projects. Like, for example, I want to play Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, or, you know, a project of some kind, something with strumming that isn't too challenging. All right. So that's your monthly goal. Jot down 2 things maximum. And then finally, you have 3 months, and then 6 months, and then a year. Obviously a year, lot further away. It's hard to know where you're going to be in a year's time, depending on how much practice. But if you have goals, for example, like I said about an old student that was proposing to his girlfriend 12 months time, he had to have this song learned. If you have those goals written down, you will get better at guitar faster. And any times where you're feeling, oh man, this is too difficult, I can't do this. You know, you're going to have days like that. Everybody does. But you'll have your goals written down. You'll have your motivations written down. So write them down. Okay, let's go back to the chat and see what people are saying. See if there's anyone there. So someone's saying, imagine the tree is a coconut tree which has no trunks. Okay, Chanley, fair enough. I play really good when I'm alone, but in front of people I always mess up. How to be confident at playing. Savesh, we're going to be doing another live Q&A all about that very soon. And I'll let you know when that's released, but it will all be about ways of, you know, keeping your motivation up when you're playing live. So let's have a look at some other people. So Guitar X, I'm only 13, I can't play bar chords, stick at it. I'm 14, I can play. I started playing because I saw you play Jar of Hearts and I really wanted to be as good as you, and I've not stopped watching your videos since I started playing. Ken, that's very, very kind. You know, obviously a part of what I do is I do like to motivate people to play, and a lot of my lessons focus on motivation and the psychological side of learning guitar as well. I'm glad that it was Jar of Hearts your beginner song. Was that your first one? Because that's a little challenging if it is, but very good. So let's have a little look who else is saying. You're the best with your painted fingers. Helps me to learn. Now I can be more complex songs thanks to you. You kept me motivated to carry on. You're the best, Drue. Thank you, Michael. I really, really appreciate that. That was a fun little series of lessons. If you type in quick, easy riffs, Drue, you'll see what Michael's talking about there. Maybe someone could leave a link in the video. So you can't play bar chords. Okay, let's see. I'm starting to use, let's do that. There we go. I think that's done it. Yeah, brilliant. So I want to form a band, but everyone else sucks. Well, there you go. I can't wait to see what you have up your sleeve for 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, or actually that's 1 million subscribers you've written there, Anthony. I've got 100. I've actually filmed all my video lesson releases for 100,000 subscribers. They've all been done, including the most requested lesson of all time on my channel that I've never made. So any guesses in the comments as to what that song might be, I won't give anything away, but it's one that's been requested ever since I had 10 subscribers, let alone 100,000. So that's coming your way. We've also got some special live feeds, and there'll be a live one-off gig where I'll be singing and playing for you some songs as well. So hopefully that's something you can be looking out for. Hey man, I just learned all the one string songs and Easy Blues one. What is a good thing to learn and start with next? A Wookie, I would suggest learning some chords. So have a look at Chasing Cars, my lesson on Chasing Cars, because that's got some basic open chords, and go for that. Okay, so let's have a look at another quick, easy way to keep yourself motivated. You've written down your reasons for wanting to learn guitar. You've written down your goals, be it weekly, monthly, 3 months time, 6 months time, and a year's time. And you're getting yourself on the right track. So here's a few other little tips. First one is, this isn't for everybody, so you might not want to do this, but give it a try. I have done it before. Keep a practice journal. This is quite simply how many minutes you've played for every day and what you've played. The reason why this is very, very useful is because you're going to look back on this practice journal in weeks, sort of months to come, and you're going to think, God, I can't believe I couldn't do that. I can't believe I couldn't play that riff. That riff is so easy now. And that will be motivating because you've seen how far you've come. All right, so that's very, very important. So try keeping a practice journal. Just in that journal, you just write down the date, you write down what it is you've played and for how many minutes you've played. And you then just do that every day. It's a good discipline to get into. Learning an instrument is a discipline. So a little discipline, a little writing discipline on top is going to help you a lot. Here's another one that can basically suck people's motivation out of their systems, and that is being a perfectionist. I personally don't think that being a perfectionist is particularly useful. Now, I'm sure people are going to start going mental on that. But I don't think it's too useful when you start out learning guitar. I always think this, it's better to have signs of progress to see that you're doing something, even if it's a little thing, faster every week than it is to be a perfectionist at a song. Because when you're perfect at a song, what happens is, or when you're aiming for perfection at a song, what happens is the bar is always too high. And when you make a mistake, you beat yourself up over it. So you keep making mistakes, you beat yourself up over it. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not perfect. I'm not exactly right. Let me tell you, there is loads of pro musicians that go out and play gigs every night. And I guarantee they do little mistakes, they do, you know, little things wrong, but does it bother them? Does it affect their performance? Does it affect their motivation for doing the next gig? No, not at all. They go with the mistakes, they realise that music is an art form, it's not perfect, and they keep going. So I don't feel, it's good to be accurate with a song, don't get me wrong, but don't feel that you have to be perfect with every single run through. Okay, let's go back to the comments and see what's going on here. They're moving so quickly, so let's see if I can do a few shout outs to people. I would love to see you give away one of those new guitars. Yeah, that's not happening. Play Arctic Monkeys. So hello, Furco. Lewis, how about fingerstyle practice for a newbie? I mean, a song suggestion that we can play and learn from. Lewis, if you haven't done so already, look up, type into Google Submerge Drue James, Submerge, and you'll find a good fingerstyle song there. 9 Blackouts, Pocket Full of Stars. I do like 9 Blackouts. They're a great group. Brian, Jimez, hey, how you doing? Let's see what else I can read out. Drue, how to stay motivated when you find that you can't play a chord or it doesn't sound the way it should. Good question. Really, really great question. If it doesn't sound the way it should, you should probably have a look at the reason why it's not sounding. Is it because the strings are muted? This sort of thing? That way you need to be pressing harder on your fingertips, pushing your wrist forward. Is it because you're putting a finger in the wrong place? That doesn't sound like an A chord, does it? But that does. So you always trust your ears. Prina, that's your name, isn't it? Prina. So always trust your ears. If your ears are telling you that something's wrong, then it probably is wrong. And you should just have a little double check to see if you are actually playing that chord the correct way. If they're sounding muted, which is the most common reason chords don't sound good when you start out, you need a bit of perseverance. You need to press down a little harder with your chord. You need to do the 1-minute chord changes, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you go to the first 3 minutes of this video, there's a very, very good exercise there to get you faster with your chord changes. So I hope that helps. Maybe some Limp Bizkit. Oh, that Behind Blue Eyes song, I've learnt that before. That's actually a really good tune. Perhaps one day. I wish they made this scrolling smoother on this chat. So, do you play electric guitar? Yes, I do. Can you make lessons live chat about rhythm and feeling when playing? Victor, this is a really good question. We are at that is going to be another. In fact, I'm going to write that down because it's a really good one. That's going to be another live Q&A soon, which is about basically how to play guitar with feeling or how to not washboard with your strumming. So that will be something that will be done soon, as well as the how to get over stage fright as well. So I'm just going to write that down. So you guys give me these ideas and that makes it awesome. Anyway, let's go through the rest. So Etta's Eyes, yeah, there you go, there's your shout out. After the excitement of learning guitar wears off, I just don't feel like playing guitar that often anymore. I know a lot of theory, scales and chords, but how do you put them all together to improve? So I'm going to talk about that in just a second. We'll get to that. I've got a good idea to help you with that. Hello, Drue. How do you find a style of guitar that I personally like? None of the styles that I know things that seem appealing to me. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Well, what music do you like listening to? Write down the bands, write down the artists, write down the songs. No point in you learning guitar if you don't like listening to music, right? That's why we all get started. So jot that down and make that sort of a goal. So move from there. Joshua, how do you do tips and tricks for beginners learning the bar chords? Joshua, type in bar chord exercises Drue James into YouTube. You'll find it there. A good motivation for me is to force my brain to be used in another way than I usually do in my work. Now, Bart, that is a really, really good one, actually. And a lot of students that I teach, I think, you know, that's another great thing to write down. So you could just simply write down to relax, because it's almost like meditation in a way, because you're taking your brain off something that it's normally on, you know, maybe a lot of stress with work or whatever. And you're coming to this, your place, right? Where you focus on just one simple task, which is perhaps playing this little tune, this little song that you're learning, and you just use it to relax. I think that's a great motivation, and definitely one of the more popular motivations as well. So well done for you for figuring that out. It's nice to hear what your motivations are, guys. So write them down. Let me know what they are in the chat. I'd love to hear what you've got to say about them. Can you do lessons about modes? No, we're not going to be doing that today. Who taught you guitar? I taught myself, but I also had a few teachers along the way. Simone, you are great. Thank you, Simone. 100,000 subscribers are coming. Congrats to you. Yes, they are indeed. We're going to be doing a special live things for that. Hi, Drue. How do I have to hold the plectrum so it won't slip out of my fingers anymore? Rest, I've done a really good video lesson for this. If you type in quite simply how to strum a guitar and then maybe put my name after it, Drue, there's 8 top tips video, which I consider, and I'm not normally this big headed, but I consider it to be one of the best strumming videos on YouTube for beginners. So please check that out. I think it's really, really good. I just want to ask, who taught you guitar? I've already answered that one. So I'm going to tell you how to arrange a fingerstyle song. That's another live Q&A, how to arrange a fingerstyle song. It's also going to be one day part of a premium course, but we are going to do a live Q&A on that as well. I'm just going to write that one down. Thank you. So, oh god, it's going crazy again. I like it when it goes crazy, but it's hard to keep track of it all. So, teachers, do I like the Beatles? Yeah, I love the Beatles. Have you seen my t-shirt? See if you can figure this out. So I hope you can see that. Submarines, crazy submarine. Yeah, love the Beatles. Massive fan of them. So, hi Ross, yeah, thank you. My motivation, my girlfriend, she loves to hear me play the guitar. I love to learn new songs every day. Cool. Okay, that's a good enough motivation as well. I say good enough. That's a good motivation. So do I have a band? I used to have a band called the Nocturnals. So you can check those out if you go to Spotify and type in the Nocturnals. You'll hear them there. Very screamy, very shouty. I was much younger back then. It's not acoustic. Is it bad for a thing for a beginner to start with Metallica songs? I wouldn't say Metallica songs are beginner, a Wookie. So I have a Yamaha F310, but want to upgrade. Been playing about 18 months. An Epiphone Electro Acoustic, a good Epiphone Electro Acoustic, a good choice for my level. Yeah, Danny, definitely. I would say make sure you play the guitars first. That will be another live Q&A one day soon, which is how to choose the most awesome guitar for you. So that will be another one. But yeah, I'd certainly say that's a good guitar to go for. So I've got to start wrapping this up now. I'm just going to do a quick recap. So this whole thing has been about motivation, and with motivation, the best advice I can give you, there's lots of other little tips, but the best advice is write down your reasons for wanting to learn guitar. Have them in your practice space so you can see them. Even better, have them as a reminder on your phone that crop up every day. That will keep you motivated in those moments where you're feeling like it's all too difficult and you can't push on anymore. Next, write down your goals, but don't just have long-term goals. Have short-term goals, weekly, monthly, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. Okay. Some people say go more than, a year, but I find that goals change quite quickly. So anything above a year, and it starts to get a bit fuzzy because what you suggested in a year's time to yourself may change as you move on. Anyway. Finally, you can use quick things like 1-minute chord changes. You can keep a practice journal, and don't be a perfectionist when you're learning to play. Just look for progress. All right. That is the most important thing there. And I'm going to finish with this. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about motivation. It's always been something that as a teacher, I've always encouraged out of my students. So I've always found it almost sometimes more fascinating than the actual teaching of music in itself. I really like what drives you to learn to play guitar, and I always want to encourage the people who aren't so motivated, because when I started, it wasn't an instant thing. Yes, I love this. This is brilliant for me. It just wasn't like that. But over time, and I'm talking years, I started to enjoy it more and more. So that's why I think I have quite a connection with people who are sometimes struggling with the guitar, because it wasn't easy for me. And it's not really easy for anyone, to be honest, at the beginning. So I'm going to finish by saying this. My Facebook page, which is Drue, I'll put it here in the comments so that you guys can see it, which it has daily motivational tips. Sometimes it's not just motivational tips. Sometimes it's sort of letting you know about live streams, photos, things like that. But mostly it's motivational tips. If you can like my Facebook page, then you can get some daily motivational tips there. That's the link. So check it out, and please like the page right now. And there you'll see extra motivation to keep you going when you're learning guitar. I'm just going to do a few more shout outs before I go. Let's see how many we've got here. Oh, whoa. How to stay motivated to learn a song to perform it without mistakes. Depends how big the mistakes are, cats. Okay. If you're stopping the song completely, then obviously, yeah, that's not gonna cut it. But if you're playing and all of a sudden you fudge up a chord, then that's a different story. You can keep strumming regardless. Sometimes it's best just to get to the end of a song than it is to keep stopping and starting again. But it does depend. So hey Vipul, hey Kaylee, hey Tom. What do you think about doing some electric guitar lessons in the future? I don't think that's going to be happening, but never say never. Never say never. So hey Joe, hey Chris, thank you for the great motivational tips. I was starting to get a little down. It's reassuring to know that this is all part of the process. Really, really like that. All part of the process. In fact, Chris, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that right there. Okay? And I'm going to keep putting it in. All part of the process. Very, very good. I really like that. That's absolutely awesome. So let's just see where we got to. The chat's just too mental. Thank you for the great motivational tips. I was like, okay, all right. As a teenager at school, we are graded constantly. Guitar is one thing I'm not graded on. Cool. Yeah. So therefore, it's your thing. You can play it when you want. Yeah, I get that. So let's just keep going. See if there's anyone else I can shout out to. I'm just trying to see where I got to. So hey Ross, hey Victor, is there a Twitter page for that? Victor, I don't do Twitter, I'm afraid. It's just not my thing. Tom Spencer, thanks. Hi Tom. Lewis again, hi. I've said hello to you already. Make a video of a Green Day song. I've done one actually. If you look up Time of Your Life, Drue James, I've done a collaboration with another YouTuber there. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for making another awesome live lesson. It's actually getting easier every time you do it. You see, every time you do it, every time you do something, the first time you do it, it's going to suck. It's going to be a little stressful, like when you start learning to play guitar, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And that's exactly how I'm feeling about doing these live streams. This one's been a lot more enjoyable. So keep on playing. Have yourself a great weekend and see you soon.